Mm, that is that is freezing cold. Hello, it's summertime, and instead of giving in to summertime sadness, I thought we could continue our yearly tradition of making a summer garment. Actually, having said that, I think that most of my designs would fall under the spring summer category. Huh. You know, it's always funny because I love wearing sweaters. They make me feel safe, they make me feel cozy. I love it. But you know, I do live in Florida and the sweater wearing days are few and far between. Although I will say that even inside my house, I do wear sweaters. But once you step out of there and you're greeted with the flames of wrath, you kind of don't want to be wearing a sweater. So, what are my hopes for this garment that we are going to be making together? Well, my hopes for this garment is, of course, make it a summer friendly garment. I want it to include some lace. I want it to be easy to size up or size down depending on your needs. And I also would like to at least provide 4 to 5 different stitch counts for varying sizes. I think the stitch counts are going to be the most important thing here because what I'm thinking is a bottom up garment where we increase to form our sleeves. So it's kind of like when we crocheted the popcorn pullover, but instead of creating our T shape by adding chains to create the sleeve, this time we're going to create our T shape by increasing at the end of the row. So let's mock up and see what that's actually going to look like. Let's doodle my top. What I have in, of course, when I go use my Apple Pencil, it's out of battery. I guess we're going to pause here and I'm going to go charge my Apple Pencil. Okay, we're back because Procreate does let me use my finger to draw. So we are going to be making a bottom up garment and then we increase for the sleeves. So it's going to look something like this, you know, vaguely. Increase for the sleeves. For the front, I do want a little bit of a scoop neckline, and then the back, I do want it to be higher than the front, so we can kind of form our neckline that way. And then at the bottom, I do want it to have some sort of lace stitches. And since we're starting from a bottom up construction, I'm thinking that it can provide various stitch counts based on the multiples that we need to create our lace. For the lace, I'm thinking of the sunrise crochet stitch. I just think it is an absolutely glorious stitch. Now, we have our plans, we have our stitch. Let's talk about the yarn. For the yarn, I'm actually thinking of frogging back a project. You should know by now, I rescue a lot of my yarn. But this, I do have a full skein available that I can show you what it looks like. This is Regia sock in the color kiwi, and I think it's going to look and feel absolutely glorious. So let's get started. This yarn was on its way to becoming a Shell Yeah Tankini. Now the Shell Yeah Tankini is a gorgeous design by Chelsea of Knitting Tipsy, but alas, I've been losing a lot of weight, so this no longer fits. And I'm so sad about it too because look, I had engineered the back to be a little bra strap so that I just would find it easier and more comfortable to wear. But this does give us an idea on how gorgeous this yarn does indeed work up. Now this was crocheted using a 2.5mm crochet hook. I don't feel like using such a small hook for this project. So actually, we are going to be using a 3.5mm crochet hook. Now you can see that I already started stitching away, mostly because I think you guys are bored of seeing me make foundation double crochet stitches or foundation single crochet stitches. So I thought I would save you the trouble and make it off camera. So once these foundation double crochet stitches are all worked up, and I decided, let me look at my notes here, to work right, I decided to work 98 foundation double crochet. So numerous stitches are in here. And without stretching it, this measures 18 inches. I think that's kind of perfect because 18 times 2, 36, right? Okay. With that, I think we're ready to start on our first little sample for this top, and hopefully all my decisions are correct. Because as I said at the very beginning, I want this to be flowy. I want this to feel like a cottage core summer, something that you would wear for comfort, but also practicality. I know sometimes those are hard to achieve, but I'm dreaming here, okay? Okay. Actually, before we move on to crochet, I need to go make lunch because my rice cooker timer is about to go off. This is lunch for my husband, not for me. ¿Dónde están mis botones? We've had lunch. I've had ice cream. Now we can finally sit down and crochet. Actually, I should look up this stitch. I don't remember it. Shameless plug for me going into my own website so that I can give myself that ad revenue money. But also, I actually do find it easier to go into my own website to look up how I design something than to search all the endless documents that I have in my desktop. While we keep going on this little crochet strip, tell me about your summer plans. And I'm not saying like, are you going on vacation? Although if you are, feel free to tell me. I'm more saying like, what crochet projects are you planning on making? Are you planning on trying any fun recipes? Everyday stuff like that that we sort of take for granted sometimes. Chain 3, skip 2. I legitimately thought that I could crochet, count, and talk to you at the same time. Who do I think I am? I mean, once I get the stitch pattern memorized, sure, but in the interim, I think we're gonna have to go for some handy dandy, beautiful music. such a good feeling, isn't it, when you have the correct stitch count? Okay, but now that I've done this, I don't think this is going to be the exact wavy, loosey-goosey thing that I was looking for. Let's do let's do one complete stitch repeat to see how much this actually stretches, and then I'll probably frog back, and I think I'm going to have to go for the next available stitch count. You know, it's always really funny when you come back to a blog or a pattern that you've written a long time ago, because in whatever you choose to do, you grow, right? With each year, you have new experiences. So going back to something that you wrote 4 or 5 years ago, you're reading it and you're like, oh, I could have done that better. But it's the beauty of having blog posts is that you can actually do, go back and make that better. For example, here it says double crochet, chain 1, 4 double crochet, and then repeat from start to end of row. There's no star. That's going to tell me the repeat. So the repeat actually starts in that first stitch. Got you. As per usual, this is going to take a while. I'm going to continue working on this off screen, and then we can huddle back here after I've completed one repeat. An official good morrow to you. I had said that we would meet back here when I had completed one repeat for our Sunshine Glow top. That's the name, Sunshine Glow. There's something about it that makes me think of shimmering mermaid scales and the freedom of being able to just sit by the sea and take in the fresh air. Anyhow, where was I? Sunshine Glow, one repeat. One repeat of the Sunshine Glow top felt paltry. So I actually decided to go for 2 repeats. That still doesn't seem to be enough, but I did want to check in and tell you that I do like the fabric that it's creating. And what I think I'm going to do is complete what I guess will now be 4 repeats for the Sunshine Glow top. And then I'm going to block just to see how much it's actually going to grow and how much of the width is going to reduce based on how much it's stretched vertically. So yeah, nothing much to say about it except that unlike any other project, in this project I have reached the it's not going to work point very early, like this morning early. And I only have 2 repeats, which is 8 rows.
Oh, you sweet summer child, toiling away over there, not even realizing that you're just not gonna like it. While I do have a lot more footage to share with you, no, you don't get to invade. I won't, because the long and short of it is that while I was working on this top, I frogged it back like 3 or 4 times, only to realize that the problem wasn't the stitch combination or the hook size. The problem was that I just wasn't liking all this color variation in such a large garment. I still love the color variation for a bikini, just not such a large garment. However, I don't want to end this video on such a sad note, so I do have a little bit of something to share with you, and that is a big teaser on our next Make With Me vlog. Okay, so while I was toiling away on the Sunshine Glow top, my brain was like, what if we tried the Las Nubes top pattern, but instead of working it bottom up in the round, we work it in panels with a T construction. And so that, my lovely crochet friends, is what I've done. If you want to see the ups and downs of working this iteration of the Las Nubes top, be sure to join me in the next vlog, where I will be sharing a lot more details of working up this top in case you yourself want to work it up. And don't worry, in addition to the Las Nubes top being a free pattern to view on my blog, this little version of it will also be free to view, and I'm hopefully going to be including 2 or 3 sizes to work up. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this bit of a chaotic making session, because, it's just a lesson in that it's okay to try. Sometimes our ideas don't work the way we expect them to, or sometimes as we are working up an idea, new little sprinkles of imagination and creativity just keep popping up that we can't really ignore. So I'm choosing to embrace those gremlins and move towards the next project. Although I will say that this little Las Nubes iteration, it kind of popped another little idea into my head that I'm running out of summer months to include videos in. Until next time, I wish you many, many moments of happy crafting. Bye!